How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another FIFA 21 Trading School Series episode. We're getting towards the end of the series, and well, FIFA 21 is here. The web app is expected to drop today. Content creators have started playing the game already. So today I'm going to be talking about how to manage your accounts and how to take a loss if you are to trade and lose coins. This is going to be more of an episode talking about the best ways to keep your coins and not lose as many coins as possible. I believe this is probably the most important episode I'm going to come out with. We're going to have a ton of videos today, tomorrow, Friday, heading up into release. Later today, we're going to have an episode on how to start off in FIFA 21 with the web app coming out later, and then what we've already seen in the FIFA 21 game. I've come up with a really good strategy on being able to make a lot of coins really fast at the start of the game, and you can get the most out of your 10 hours that you get. But without further ado, we're going to get into the trading guide here, and we're going to start off with account management. And really, good account management is the difference between having millions of coins or only having a little bit of coins. Now, what do I mean by this? I mean, the way you spend, use, and save your coins can really determine on how many coins you have. If you have bad, coin management and you're over here, wasting coins on stupid SBCs, overpriced players, you're not waiting long enough for players to drop, and you're wasting coins on packs and stuff, that is a really, really bad idea, and I don't recommend doing any of that stuff. Obviously, if an SBC comes out and it's one of your more favorite players, by all means, go and do them. But what I'm saying is, don't waste your coins on packs. 9 times out of 10, you are going to get absolute dog shit from it. Same with, buying cards in the market. You've been saving coins for Rashford, who, maybe has been 50k all year, but just for some reason this week he's 65, 70k. I would hold off on buying him until, he comes back down. But anyways, here are a few of, my tips on successfully managing your account. Do not do every SBC player that comes out. I'd say about 80% of the ones that came out in FIFA 20 were not good by the end of the year. Realistically, my favorite ones from last year were maybe like the PK one that came out during Scream. That card was really good and useful for, many, many months. When you're deciding if, one of those player SBCs is good or not, ask yourselves a few questions. Will this guy be good in this amount of time? Compare stats to players that are in the game right now. If you see multiple players with, the same stats as this card, maybe it's not a good idea to do them. But, if we get a really good card at, let's say at Scream time, which is about Halloween, and, he's got really good stats, and we're not going to be expecting to see many cards like this until, let's say, Team of the Year in January, I'd say, yeah, go for it. That's a really good idea to spend your coins on. But, if it's just a card that, not really worth doing in the long run, I'd stay away from it. But again, like I said, ask yourself if he's going to fit in your team as well and for how long. Another one is SBCs. When completing like puzzle SBCs or marquee matchups, don't overspend while getting the cards to complete these SBCs. That'll quickly drain your coins. Marquee matchups usually comes out on Thursday, and what I've seen a lot of people do is, let's say, some silver players are required. Those silver players go from like 1k to 7k, or any players that are required, especially at the first few weeks. Those cards go up so much in price. Marquee matchups is out for a week. It is not going to hurt you to wait a few days for prices to come back down. Do not overspend on marquee matchups because realistically, the packs are not usually worth it anyways. And make sure you spend your coins wisely. And this kind of ties into the trading aspect of, the game. If you're saving up for, let's say, Neymar, and you're trading to get Neymar, and let's say Neymar is 700k, I don't know his price. I haven't really looked too much into it right now in FIFA 21, because obviously, all this. But let's say you're saving up for one of those big players, millions of coins. If you're saving up for a player who's, let's say, 700k, it's probably a good idea to save around 1 million coins, so that way you have coins to trade with after. It is not a good idea to save up to 1 million coins to buy a player, and then, you start back from zero. It's just not worth it, and it's not really smart account management, because then you're stuck, trying to build your budget back up, especially because what we've seen so far in FIFA 21 is it's going to be really easy to build a budget up. But remember, every coin counts and every little bit adds up. So remember, the more you save over the course of the year, the more coins you will have. So now, we're going to talk about losing trades. When you lose coins, whether it's trading or whatever it may be. When you think of trading, you think of profits and lots of coins. But you never really hear about losing. And that's because a lot of people, they don't share their losses. And I don't know why that is. Maybe because, it will hurt their following or whatnot. Whatever it may be. I'll be straight up with you. I have lost many times, especially in FIFA 20 at the start, because I was just still, learning more of the market ways. Losses are not just what happened in the FIFA market. Losses happen in everything you do. And the best way to say it is anything that you lose in this game, don't think of it as losing, think of it more as learning. In order for someone to win in this market, somebody else has to lose, and, without a doubt, you will probably lose coins at some point in this FIFA. Now, the big thing about this guide is, what do you do when you lose? What should you do? What a lot of people do is when they lose coins, they instantly try and go win it all back in the market. You will never do that. I'll be honest. If you do that, congratulations to you, but very rarely, if you lose coins, will you make it back up like that, unless it's a small loss or whatnot. So, if you do lose, take a break for at least a few hours. Clear your mind. It's not good to, trade angry. And the same thing goes for playing in games too, like in Weekend League. If you lose and you feel yourself getting frustrated or angry, just stop playing. The last thing you want to do is throw your coins into another losing trade, or play another Weekend League game and lose. Don't trade with your emotions, especially. If you are angry, that is the most important thing. Do not trade with your emotions, because it's only going to lead to more and more losses. This is a big one. It's better to take your losses quickly instead of holding. It is possible that maybe you miss a reverse. So let's say, you trading PKs who's, let's say, 45k. You pick him up at 45k and he drops to 40k. It's better to take your losses then, instead of risking him going even lower to 30 to 35k. Yes, there's a chance that PK could go back up to 50k at some point, and it's possible you'll miss out on some profits, but the way I see it, it's better to be safe than sorry. The last thing you want to do is be caught bag holding, is what it's called, where you're just holding cards forever waiting for them to go back up. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. It's not good coin management at all. And lastly, like I said, always learn from your mistakes. Ask yourself why you just lost in your trade. If you bought let's say a player like, I don't know, somebody that's getting hyped up on Twitter, or you saw like on YouTube, people were saying, oh, buy Timo Werner, and then you hop in like really late, ask yourself, why did you hop into this trade late in the first place? And, more likely than not, if you follow advice, very late on, you're most likely going to lose coins from it anyways, because you're probably buying towards the top. The best thing about, investing and buying is you want to buy before the hype gets there and sell into the hype. But that's my opinion. But anyways, like I said, ask yourself why you lost in this trade. If it's because you followed in blindly, or you didn't look at the graphs right, or you're just late, that could be a reason why. And take that knowledge and make sure you keep it. Maybe write it down somewhere, because that way, in the future, you don't keep making the same mistake, and you won't keep losing coins. Anyways, guys, that'll wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was a little bit earlier of an upload. Stay tuned. We're going to come out with the web app guide coming out very, very soon, before the web app comes out, and then potentially later in the day, we'll have a third upload talking more about what I like to do during the web app if I find anything super, super effective. But until then, it should be a really fun week, a fun couple months coming up with FIFA 21 out. The game looks pretty decent so far, and I'm excited to get onto it. So, until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.